first and foremost, I want to start off by saying Barakateh Yahweh, Barakateh Yahweh Shai, Barakateh Yahweh, Barakateh Yahweh Shai, Barakateh Yahweh, Barakateh Yahweh Shai. Call Allah Yahweh, Bahashem Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rakal Kodash. Double honor to the apostles of GMS who rule well and who taught me this truth. And a shalom to you sincere Akim out there listening, learning, and pushing this truth. And with that being said, I'm going to jump straight into this video. Lord's willing, it'll be edifying. I'm going to go into Rakal Kodash as usual. And with that being said, let's get it cracking, all right? Shouldn't be too long. I got a couple videos that I wanted to play. I'm not going to play them in their entirety. I was just, doing a little meditating on, the year at hand, because today's date is December 26th, 2019, the year of Karagma. We're coming to the end of the year, what, 4 more days and we're in 2019. What is it? A couple more days. How many ever? But anyway, and we're in 2020, so like not 2019, 2020. All right. So I was kind of doing like a little recap of the things that were going on, major events, because it's easy to get distracted, with the bread and circus and a lot of the impeachment and a lot of the and just in general, a lot of things took place in 2019. So I was just doing a little recap, and I thought I'd share the videos with you guys just so it'll be fresh in your mind, heading into 2020, But first things first, start with a scripture, because of course we're being demonized heavy going into 2020, of course, that's one of the things that's at hand, But we're not worried, It's a sign that we're getting closer and closer to the return of Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai, So anyway, I'm gonna start with Psalms chapter 46, verse 1. All right. Okay, it reads, Yahweh is our refuge and strength, a very present help. Yahweh is our refuge and strength, a very present help in trouble. Therefore will we not fear, though the earth be removed, and though the mountains be carried into the midst of the sea, though the waters thereof roar and be troubled, though the mountains shake with the swelling thereof, Selah. There is a river, the streams whereof shall make glad the city of Yahweh, the holy place of the tabernacles of the Most High. Yahweh is in the midst of her, she shall not be moved. Yahweh shall help her, and that right early. The heathen raged, the kingdoms were moved. He uttered his voice, the earth melted. The Lord of hosts, Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai, is with us. The power of Jacob is our refuge, Salah. Come, behold the works of the Lord Yahweh, what desolations he hath made in the earth. He maketh wars to cease unto the end of the earth. He breaketh the bow and cutteth the spear in sunder. He burneth the chariot in the fire. It's the main point that I wanted, though. The whole thing is beautiful if you can receive it. I'm not gonna really break it down, but we in them times, man. He's about to make good in all these promises, man. Okay, but the main point that I wanted is in verse 10, though. It says, "Be still and know that I am Yahweh. I am power. I will be exalted among the heathen. I will be exalted in the earth. The Lord of hosts, Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai, is with us, the elect, the remnant, okay? The power of Jacob is our refuge, Selah, okay? So Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai is with us, all right? So I was just meditating on that scripture. I love this scripture. So I said, let me open it up with that, and nothing fancy, because like I was just meditating on pretty much what was going on, like I said, what went on during 2019. So let me read. This is Habakkuk 2:1. It says, "I will stand upon my watch and set me upon the tower, and will watch to see what he will say unto me, and what I shall answer when I am reproved. And the Lord Yahweh answered me and said, Write the vision and make it plain upon tables, that he may run that readeth it. For the vision is yet for an appointed time, but at the end it shall speak, and not lie. Though it tarry, wait for it, because it will surely come, it will not tarry. Alright? And we know it seems like it's tarrying, but hey, the year ended quickly, you know? Yahweh Shai said he was going to shorten the days for the elect's sake, you know? So it's not tarrying, you know? So when I play these videos, you'll see, you know, so it'll be fresh in your mind. All right, so let's get the main video that I wanted to play is going to be this one here off of NBC. It's from December 24th, 2019, the year of Karagma. It's entitled "What's Next for the Economy in 2020." All right, but I'm not gonna play that. That's the last video I'm gonna play. Let me start backwards. Let me play this one here. Play a little bit of these, you know. From December 26th, which is today, 2019 year of Karagma, from CBS News. It's like it's CBC News. Protests, unrest continue in Iran, and we know Iran is Persia in the scriptures, you know. So here we go.
Iranian activists have gathered in Paris to protest the recent crackdown against demonstrations in Iran. The demonstrators voiced their support for the recent uprising against Iran's clerical regime. About 1,500 people were killed during less than 2 weeks of unrest that started in mid-November. Iran has restricted mobile internet access in several areas following calls for new protests on social media. And another day of demonstrations are set in Iran, this time to mark the death of a protester who was killed 40 days ago. For more on what is fueling that unrest, we've invited journalist and activist Masih Alinejad back to the program. She's monitoring what is taking place inside Iran from New York City, and that's where we've reached her. So Masih, good to have you on the show again. Let's begin with the latest, which is once again the regime shutting down access to the internet. Why are they doing?
You see, because the news isn't, this whole Christmas and all this stuff, it's easy to be distracted, you gotta keep measuring the time and watching, watching alternative news and paying attention, Salakia, because these are the key prophecies that we're looking for, obviously the mandatory implementation of the RFID microchip, but also the downfall of this man's economy and the third world's war, the second world past, the third world coming quickly. We're looking for that third world's war, along with the demonization, but these are key things, to keep always keep an eye on, real quick, Ezekiel 30, and we know this, just bringing it out, and then like you said, like Iran is still protesting and locking the internet down, you got to keep an eye on, watch, I'll go to Ezekiel. Salah. Let me go here first. Salah. Ezekiel 38:1. It says, "And the word of the Lord Yahweh came unto me, saying, Son of man, set thy face against Gog, the land of Magog, which we know is Russia, the chief prince of Meshech and Tubal, and prophesy against him, and say, Thus saith the Lord Yahweh, Behold, I am against thee, O Gog, the chief prince of Meshech and Tubal," like I said, Russia. "And I will turn thee back and put hooks into thy jaws," like we said, that old Soviet Union, that Cold War spirit, Yahweh Shai is gathering the armies, putting that war spirit, so gathering the armies into the valley of Yahweh Shaphat, So we gotta always be mindful and keep an eye on that also, It says, "And I will turn thee back and put hooks into thy jaws, and I will bring thee forth, and all thine army and horses, horses and horsemen, all of them clothed with all sorts of armor, even with a great company with bucklers and shields, all of them handling swords." Persia, like I said, which is Iran, Ethiopia, Libya, and we know Libya has been in the news lately, also, I didn't pull that up, but I believe it's Turkey. Turkey and Libya, or I think Turkey's talking about sending more troops down into Libya, okay? But these are these are the times we're in, we got to be mindful, don't get caught slipping, you know. It says, and 'cause Esau Edom does a lot of fuckery, man. While big time things are popping off, he like to do a lot of distractions, man. Okay, you know. It says Persia, Ethiopia, and Libya with Russia. Okay, because they're all gonna turn, as it is written, um, the beast, right? Uh, Salakia. The whore that rides the beast, America, her allies are gonna turn on her per revelation and burn her with fire. All right, the beast is gonna burn the whore with fire. Okay, all America's allies are gonna turn on her. Okay, so it says Persia, Ethiopia, and then Russia is gonna be a guard unto them, and that's what you see happening. All right, that's why it's important to keep an eye on Iran, because Russia's been stated that once America messes with Iran, Russia's gonna step in. Okay. And then, like I said, Russia steps in, China's going to step in. All right, it's going to be an all-out world war again. All right, you see. So anyway, it says Persia, Ethiopia, and Libya with them, all of them with shield and helmet. Gomer and all his bands, the house of Togarmah of the north quarters, and all his bands, and many people with thee. You see. It says, "Be thou prepared and prepare for thyself, thou and all thy company that are assembled unto thee, and be thou a guard unto them." Okay? And that's what you see happening. I actually have a video on that also. Okay? They're actually, Slakia. This is off of, because I'm not going to play all these videos. These are recent news articles, that you see what we're heading into, fresh. These things are still fresh, So this is off of CNA. It says China, Russia, and Iran, okay, to conduct joint naval drills in Gulf of Oman, okay. So that's Moab, Gog and Magog, and Persia, all right, working together, okay. This is from today, December 26, 2019, the year of Karagma, okay. Oops, let's play a little bit of it.
In other news, China, Russia, and Iran are set to hold joint naval drills in the Gulf of Oman. Beijing says the drills will begin tomorrow and last till Monday. It says they are aimed at deepening exchange and cooperation between their navies. This comes amid heightened tensions between the U.S. and Iran. Both sides have been at loggerheads since Washington reimposed sanctions on Tehran last year after with.
You see, they're holding drills to show that they're allies, okay? Despite the heightened tensions, okay? To show that, okay, we got Iran's back, okay? Just like I brought out in Moab wasn't there in that scripture in Ezekiel, but Russia, okay? Persia, Ethiopia, and Libya with them, all of them with shield and helmet. Okay, and that's what you see them doing, them drills, and that's been going on. Okay, that's been going on. All right, you see. So we and they try. You see, they try to demonize us and stuff. We don't have to worry about nothing, man. All right, all we gotta do is be patient. Just keep doing what we're supposed to be doing. Repenting, keeping the laws the best that we can, rehearsing the righteous act, and then pushing this truth out. Okay. Wait ye upon me. That's what Yahweh Shai said per Zephaniah. All right. So, like I said in Psalms, be still. Psalms 46:10. Be still and know that I am Yahweh. I am power. I will be exalted. Okay, these things will come to pass, man. All right, and we drastically approach. We coming into them times, man. All right, you see. Who knows what 2020 is gonna have in store for us? You see, we might. Who knows, man? Lord's willing, we out of here. But we don't know. But we hasten His coming. You see, the Amalek already getting scared over the name Yahweh Shai is coming. They scared, man. All right. You see, they scared for that name to be exalted. Okay. The name of the Lord is dreadful amongst the heathen. All right. Hashem. Okay. Hashem is coming. Yahweh Shai is coming. Okay. So it says, be still and know that I am power. I will be exalted among the heathen. I will be exalted in the earth. The Lord of hosts, Yahweh Shai, is with us, the elect of Yasharallah. Okay. and the 1/3. Okay, the power of Jacob is our refuge, Selah. Okay, none else. Okay, no other nation. Okay. Anyway, let's get back to this.
Withdrawing from a landmark nuclear deal, and there's also been months of tension between China and the U.S. over trade and what Beijing calls U.S. interference.
Oh yeah, how could I forget all this damn trade? America just been Babylon the Great, been sanction happy, man. Been sanctioning everybody, you know, because she knows she have but a short time, and she's losing her hegemony, you know. She's losing her hegemony. Well, you get the idea. You know, I don't want to make this video too long. I don't even have to play no more. You know, like I said, they protesting over there in Iran and stuff. You know, and there are still uproars everywhere, man. You know, that hasn't stopped. Just because you don't see it in the news don't mean it's died down. You know, the yellow vest still going. China's still going. Hong Kong's still going, you know. What was this one? Okay, this is a good one too. This is off of TRT World. It says, from today also, December 26, 2019, the year of Karagma, says 2019 review, renewed tensions further strain ties between U.S. and Iran, like I said, Babylon the Great, that whore, America, and then Persia, okay? A lot.
As 2019 draws to a close, the United States has a new promise to Iran's government.
First, I have redesignated Iran as a country of particular concern under the International Religious Freedom Act. The world should know Iran is among the worst violators of basic fundamental religious freedoms. We're restricting visas for current or former Iranian officials and individuals responsible for or complicit in the abuse, detention, or killing of peaceful protesters.
The U.S. State Department says the move is a response to Iran's treatment of protesters who have taken to the streets over massive fuel price hikes. Protests have taken place across the country, with people calling for Iran's clerical leadership to step down. The Iranian government cracked down, detaining some people and blocking the internet. Experts say around 304 people have been killed so far in the protests, with thousands more being detained. The U.S. says Iran must respect human rights if the country wants to be welcomed back into the international community. The sanctions come at the end of a year of contentious events between Washington and Tehran. In April, the U.S. declared Iran's Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps a foreign terrorist organization. In May, former National Security Advisor John Bolton announced that the U.S. would deploy an aircraft carrier and bomber planes to the Persian Gulf in response to perceived threatening behavior from Iran.
So you can see, I'm not going to play this whole video. You can see this thing is getting serious. It's been getting serious, which we know, we've been reporting on it. But just to bring things back into proper perspective going into 2020, you know? Anyway, let me play the main video and I'm out of here. This is the main one that I wanted to play. All right, because the main thing we're looking for is the economy to collapse also. Because we're looking for the mandatory implementation of that RFID microchip. This cashless society, all right, ushering in this beast system, all right. So this is off of NBC News, December 24, 2019. We know Esau Edom his economy is hyperinflated, okay. We know it's puffed up, you know, it's all bullshit, okay. We know it's all usury and witchcraft, and you know, it's about that time, man. Back in Habakkuk, right? Habakkuk 2 and 4 says, behold, his soul which is lifted up is not upright in him. Talking about Esau Edom, the red Hebrew Edomite. But the just, Yasharallah, shall live by his faith. Yea, also because he transgresseth by wine, his doctrine, his philosophies, his way of life. Okay, you know, it says he is a proud man, neither keepeth at home, who enlargeth his desire as hell, and is as death. All right, and cannot be satisfied, but gathereth unto him all nations, and heapeth unto him all people. Shall not all these take up a parable against him, and a taunting proverb against them, and say, woe to him, destruction. Woe means destruction to him that increaseth that which is not his. How long? That's what we're saying. How long? All right. And we know it's just a matter of time. Okay, it's a matter of time. This place should have been fell. All right, you know how long, you know, but though with Terry, wait for it. Okay, be still. Okay, it says, and to him that ladeth himself with thick clay, that debt I bought you. Okay, shall they not rise up suddenly that shall bite thee, and awake that shall vex thee, and thou shalt be booties unto them. Okay. So we know it's nothing. It's but a matter of time, you know. We just watching, watching and measuring the time diligently, you know.
The economy ending the year on a strong note. Stocks near record highs. The Federal Reserve slashed rates during the year. The Phase 1 China trade deal ready to be signed in January. We've got a NAFTA 2.0. These are some pretty big accomplishments for President Trump. So what does that mean going into 2020? Well, of course, you know who's here for asking these kinds of questions. My friend Ali Velshi to talk all things economy. Ali, if we take a look at it, I mean, look, the economy's pretty good, right? We've got GDP around, 2%, unemployment under 4%. I mean...
3.5% unemployment.
Yeah, picture looks pretty good. Can Trump ride that into 2020?
You and I were talking about this earlier on MSNBC, and somebody tweeted us and said, 93% of Americans don't look at that stock market and say, wow, look at my portfolio. So let's just hit that for a second.
It's a good point.
About 40 some odd percent of Americans own stocks. Most of that is through a 401k. And unless you're a uniquely bad investor, the stock market is up 28% year to date, right? It's a very, very big gain.
Yeah.
So actually about half of them, if your money is in the stock market and in something that looks like the S&P 500, which is generally where it should be, you did actually do very well on the stock market. Here's the rest of it. 3.5% unemployment should mean that everybody can go to their boss and ask for a raise because they're short of workers. That didn't materialize across.
I talked about it already. Nobody's getting raises. For a couple of years, nobody's getting raises. So the economy's doing so good for who? Who is it doing good for? For the wicked elite. Just like the Great Depression. Right before they pulled all their stocks out and crashed the economy, they were doing lovely, man. And then they pulled all their shit out and crashed the economy. Okay? And that's what you've been seeing happen. A lot of these companies been merging and, merging to do what? To milk these companies for as much as they can before they pull out. They get us to squeeze as much as they can. You see, cutting corners here and there.
The board. 2% GDP growth, it's abstract to people. They don't really know what that means, right? So the stock market and wages or the value of your house, those are the only places where it materializes.
And speaking of houses, like I forget, I was watching somebody and they brought that up about houses. A lot of people own their houses, prior to 2008, 2009, that crash. A lot of Americans own their houses, okay? And when you own your house, of course, that's collateral, and that's that's actual. You can use that. But what happened after you got laid off, you lost your job or whatnot, and this, that, and the third, you went into renting. You're now a renter, and a lot of people haven't bounced back enough to get another house. They're still renting. You see, so who really is this who really did the so-called wonderful economy affect?
You have a house if you've got money. If you're a higher earning wage earner, you've done well in the last few years. Where we're stuck is sort of in that middle class to lower. There are still people in this country earning $7.25 an hour. There are still people homeless. There are still people food insecure. So there's something weird about it, because if you were just looking at all those economic numbers, you'd say, this is great.
Yeah, things are good, right?
It's just not properly distributed. That's what the issue is.
So do you think, could we see President Trump running into trouble in November, as he heads there walking around saying, well, the economy's great, the economy's great? Does that open up room for the Democrats to say, wait a second?
It's going to be the same problem that Barack Obama faced. It's going to be the same problem that a Democratic candidate faces, except that some of these Democratic candidates are talking about universal health care and higher minimum wage, because Donald Trump went to Ohio in the election and said, don't sell your homes. Well, everybody who didn't sell their home probably has a home that's worth less now, because more factories have closed, jobs have gone away, coal mining jobs didn't come back. So there is a problem, because the rich got richer, and that's the way the world is going right now along the developed world. But he promised things to manufacturing workers, coal workers, that haven't materialized because he can't make them materialize. The fact is,
because you can't heal Babylon the Great. Babylon the Great is fallen. All right. But that's what the rest of the world is already coming to the realization of, and that's why they're in an uproar and they're protesting. Okay, But you'll come to that realization very quickly, okay, that this place is through, all right? When the grinding is low, all right? You know?
That's not where things are. So the challenge is going to be for those people, and there are many millions of them, right? There are 40 million food insecure people in this country. So there are tens of millions of people who are sitting there looking at this remarkable stock market, more records. We got 2 new records today, or 1 new record on the NASDAQ, but generally speaking, we've had a record-breaking stock market. They're looking at home prices go up. They're looking at this GDP growth. They're looking at low unemployment. And they're saying, what happened to me? I'm not feeling like I've been 10 years into an economic expansion. We haven't had a recession for 10 years.
All right, so let's talk about that.
So that tell you something's wrong. We were in a hell of a recession, man, coming out of 2008, 2009. You know? Then what did they do? The government bailed out these banks and these, you know, the great big bailout, right? You know, which that didn't really fix nothing, man. That was just a big Band-Aid, man. They put a big Band-Aid on the problem. Okay, but the wound is still there, man. All right, there's a deadly wound under Babylon, man. Okay, you know, it's beautiful. This place is through. You know, that's why they pumping money, and they said it was only going to be for a short period of time. You know, the Fed's pumping money into these corporations overnight, you know, billions. But they got to keep doing it because this place is through. All right, this place is done.
You and I also talked about this before. I kind of looked at you and said,
remember, we heading into a whole nother decade, man. All right? It's a whole nother decade, all right?
I'm not a fool. You're not a fool. We know that the next year is 2020, but something in my brain didn't click like, wow, a whole decade is coming to an end. And a whole...
Exactly what I just said, exactly. That's interesting. Khan. Yeah. Because Yahweh Shem Yahushua is shortening the days for the elect's sake, man. That's what I said. I wanted to do a little quick, get a little focus, man, because, you know, the demonization and stuff, but still, this place is through. You know, this place is through. The Wadi Habashim, this place is done, man. I can't wait to hear what Elder Pastor Har coins this year, man. All right?
They're saying, what happened to me? I'm not feeling like I've been 10 years into an economic expansion. We haven't had a recession for 10 years.
Show for it. What do you have to show for it? You know, nothing to show for it. You know, you working these gig jobs, this gig economy, you know. This place is through, man. You know.
So let's talk about that, because you and I also talked about this before. I kind of looked at you and said, I'm not a fool. You're not a fool. We know that the next year is 2020, but something in my brain didn't click like, wow, a whole decade is coming to an end, and a whole decade without a recession.
Correct. It's a big deal.
That's great. But then people start to think, well, does that mean one's coming?
Yeah, and I would have to say this. I think one always comes.
Yeah.
It's a mug's game trying to prove when it's going to come, and if you're adjusting your investments because you think one's coming, I wouldn't do that. I'd stay nimble, but I'd stay invested. The issue is they come. They don't all have to be like the last one. The last one came, it could have been a garden variety recession, but lots of things complicated it, and it made it into a jungle variety recession. We don't have to have that. One of the things that happens is central banks, who acted very well last time around, they can lower rates.
You see, that's what saved you. Amalek saved you. Okay? He hyperinflated the economy. He printed money out of thin air. Okay? But it ain't gonna be so this time. This time he wants it to fail. He don't want it to. He don't want to save it this time. He wanted to fail so he could bring in this cancer society, man. This gonna be the big one. It's coming. They know it's coming. You know it's coming. You know Yahweh Shem Yahushua is coming. All right. Anyway, I'm gonna shut it down there. Hey, Lord's willing, it was edifying. Hey, keep watching, man. Keep being circumspect. Keep being diligent. Keep being repentful. You know. Keep rehearsing the righteous acts. You know, and most and foremost, keep pushing. Like I always say, man. Hey, we almost out of here, man. Shalom. Wa abad babal.